All right, we are 10 seconds out. I'm recording the correct screen. That's nice. 4, 3, 2, 25-second opener. Let's do this.
Can I buy you a drink? Maybe some pond water for your friend?
Very funny.
Where'd he go?
Worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Hockman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist Rob Scucci and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing the Master of Disguise?
Because we had mixed feelings about Dana Carvey, mostly me kind of liking Dana Carvey and you guys not really liking Dana Carvey, and I am now on your side unabashedly with unbridled enthusiasm. Because this,
the worst.
I mean, I said right before we started rolling that I think this is worse than Neil Breen, but I mean, we could duke it out on the air. How are you, Bob? Master of Disguise.
This did not change my opinion of Dana Carvey at all. As a matter of fact, it solidified my decision.
Okay.
Like, I think he had moments. He had moments, and he had a time in his career that he was like, respected.
Garth sliding down the pole in Wayne's World to the Murphmobile and the groaning the entire time is like an amazing moment in his career.
Yeah, and I realized that was it.
Yes.
Maybe that was the only moment.
Yeah.
So when I read how bad this was, I'm like, all right, I remember this when this came out, and I remember not wanting to see it, but I wasn't sure why I didn't want to see it. And now I know exactly why I didn't want to see it.
All right. So you ready to describe it?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't care that you slept with my sister. Now I got a daughter niece. I don't care that you gave me the crotch critters twice.
Confused? We are too. But don't worry, Bob lives to explain. This is the best explanation.
All right, I did an I alliteration for this week.
Ooh.
Impossible impersonations don't improve an idiotic idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's Dana Carvey's whole shtick. He's good at doing impersonations. Not as good as Phil Hartman or the guy from Napoleon Dynamite or, anybody.
Yeah, he's not good at it. So I don't really understand.
Yeah, he's had a couple hits, and that doesn't make you good at all impressions.
No.
All right, so here's the description. Oh God, this is so hard. This is so hard for me to say at the beginning, but here we go. Pistachio Disguisey, which is a real character's name in this movie, is born into a family of super spies who can impersonate anybody, regardless of their body shape or voice. His father and mother are kidnapped, and the father is forced to impersonate famous people in order to steal rare items, with the safety of his wife held as collateral/bribe. Pistachio disguises himself as a turtle man, a cherry pie, and people of various ethnic backgrounds, to put it nicely, in order to save his family, and falls in love along the way. That's it.
True. He does, and I don't think we have a clip for it, Rob, but he does disguise himself as a cherry pie.
He does.
As Bob mentioned.
I didn't pull the Warrant song before we started recording, so I can't even pay proper respects.
My cherry pie.
Cool, drink of water.
You didn't understand the reference. All right, let's throw it to the worst YouTube comment.
Sure. Experts say that going onto YouTube and reading the comments is tremendous for your mental health because everybody else by comparison is batshit insane.
If I had known that, I'd have been here months ago.
All right, we're not doing YouTube this week. We are doing an email, which reads thusly. The year was 1987. I was 14 years old. My sister was 13. My brother, 11. our parents wanted us all to go out to the movies as a family. I don't know why that's in quotes. I mean, they are a family. My sister and I were into our early teen years and wanted nothing to do with mom and dad. However, they insisted all we need to do is pick something everyone will enjoy. And that's all in quotes. So it must have been a verbatim account. We went to the movie theater located in a back parking lot behind a large strip mall on Route 51. And the movie they chose was Baby Boom, starring Diane Keaton. It was nearly 2 hours of absolute torture for 14-year-old me. I walked out and said two things to my parents. We're never doing that again. And in parentheses, he said, my sister agreed. Number two, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. For years, I rolled over in my head. Who was this movie even for? Was that supposed to be funny? Anyway, that is all to say, per your request, I recommend you guys watch and discuss Baby Boom, 1987. Dave, Bob's brother. Now, a point I want to make out about this this email actually rings true. Number one, we're never doing that again. Parentheses, my sister agreed, which is funny because he didn't include you in that, Bob, and we're doing it again right now. So it actually comes full circle. What's that? Years later. I'm not doing math right now.
Well, my brother and sister are barely less than a year apart in age.
Yeah.
So they were basically raised as twins.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, they kind of shared a brain in some ways. At times I was closer with my brother, at times I was closer with my sister, but I agree with them. That movie was horrible.
Yes. But
Baby
you are
Boom.
doing it again. That's the important part. So next week is
Yeah, you are.
So we said the rule: if you go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com and click the little email thing and email us and request a movie, we will do it without throwing it up on a poll. We won't let the audience decide. It's been decided already. So next week is a good movie week, which we have a poll for. And then when we kick off season 47, we will be doing Baby Boom with Diane
47.
Keaton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Episode 3, which is the first episode of season 47.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's throw it to test number 1. Ain't that a pitch?
All right.
Money now and a lot more when I get in that office. I can take that to the bank.
Mo's money, Mo's money, Mo's money. I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
Ain't that a pitch?
All right. So I believe it's my turn because Bob, you went first last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Dana Carvey. Funny, hardly. Laughing villain farts. Carvey playing many parts. If you watch along with us, I'm sorry.
That's totally fair. This movie so blew my cock. Anyway, whose turn is it?
It's your turn now, Chris.
Oh. Speaking of my wiener, my wiener is good at doing Dana Carvey impressions. During this movie, it shot up into my body in the wrong direction. It did the turtle shell to protect itself because of my bad movie-induced penis harm depressions.
That was very solo themed.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. In this movie, you will have to take Dana Carvey in a large dose, where he does impressions that might impress your folks. Pistachio pushes parody pathetically, pretending he's portraying personalities. Ultimately, it's another unimpressive collection of fart jokes.
Yes.
I liked Chris's cock conundrum, but I think Bob, you were more on the nose, so I'm gonna give you 4.5, Bob.
Interesting.
Don't ask for my vote.
Chris.
Why not?
All right. I enjoyed Chris's penile persuasion puns. Even though I felt like I went the extra mile, I'm gonna give Chris a 4.
All right.
You absolutely did go the extra mile, is why I'm going to give myself a 4.5 for a Chris win at 4.25 star. Great job, Chris. 4.25 stars. Excellent job. I couldn't get myself a 5 because you're right. You were pretty close. I didn't blow away the competition, so great job, Bob. But Chris win. Let's go to test number 2. This is the most offensive.
Time to give everybody the good old zip and slip with the most offensive.
You keep my penis out your mouth now. Yeah, I'm talking about my penis. My penis is just fine.
I definitely shouldn't point this out, but I love that moment of silence there where half the audience knew and Bob knew that I was just waiting for Bob's vote so that I could vote for myself if he voted for me. I was willing to give the audience dead air for a win.
Yeah, an hour. It's a 90-minute episode of us sighing in resignation.
All right, so what we do here is tell you what's like in poor taste about the movie. So let's go to number
5.
All right, this one could have been a lot longer than it is, so I'll give you some explanation after I say so many silly celebrity sightings, including Jesse Ventura, Jessica Simpson, and Michael Johnson, the former Olympian.
Yep.
But it's offensive to have Jesse Ventura on the in the movie. You know why?
Why?
Because he's a fucking maniac. Have you ever heard him talk?
Yeah. That's
you know when conspiracy theorists first came about and everybody used to laugh at that?
Yeah.
Jesse was like the early adopter. He was like the first brand ambassador for conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess he did a pretty good job because now half of our country are that. But no offense to half of the country who believe in that. But who knows? Maybe I have some conspiracies that anyway, woke and whatever. That's a conspiracy, right?
He's a friend of the pod. He was on Running Man.
That's true.
That's right.
And Predator.
And he was.
And
Predator,
they were
all the celebrities were in this because it's a Happy Madison production, which I'm sure will come up later at some point.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, Adam Sandler, if you don't already know, or if you don't know already, is a major part of the production.
He likes paying people that he looks up to hang out with him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He likes to elevate other comedians that he thinks are less funny than him.
Yes.
It's like the girl that brings the like ugly girls around with her so that she can look hotter by comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Sandler does that. He's like, I'm the funniest one of all of these 30 comedians that I give like a small paycheck to cameo in my movies.
Yeah.
I'm like funny, right? Because imagine me and now imagine Dana Carvey. Who's funnier?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess you win.
It's not even close. It's not even close, which is kind of sad. Yeah.
I know. I hate it because Adam Sandler sucks my ass. All right, number
4.
Olson Twin Pedophile prank.
Yeah.
I don't know if you called this.
Yeah,
how old were these girls in 2002? But yeah, it sounds like you guys already know what I'm talking about.
That was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have made it up on the list, but I almost completely forgot about it and then saw it at my notes at the end. And I had one at 4 that I wasn't very happy with, so I just did the old switcheroo. But yeah, they make a joke about it being attracted to the Olsen twins, and in 2002, I think they might
17. I just looked it up. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Or, wait.
So there was.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're born in '86. Yeah.
There was unfortunately this pervasive, like sub header going around Hollywood that was when the Olsen twins turn 18, we're all going to have sex with them.
It was interchangeable with a lot of child. They said it for Amanda Bynes. They said it for, and it turns out like they kept true to their words. And as we found out years later, they were doing it way before they were 18 too.
Yeah, Hollywood sure did fuck the Olsen twins
and Corey Feldman.
More ways than one.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Number
3.
417 in dental for fucking around with this 411 fart box every week.
Fucking around with what?
This 411 fart box. I'm referring to Dana Carvey.
Oh, yeah.
So this mother gets paid $417 a week plus dental for that job.
Yeah. That's actually not bad in like what, $2,002?
Yeah, but he's like a master of disguise.
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's- yeah,
being
pretty competitive for entry level, though. You know.
Yeah. All right, number.
For a second, we're on number 2.
I guess I lose that one. Mom suggesting side street as a skate park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That poor kid.
Yeah, there. Not only is she just like cool with him, gallivanting around on his skateboard, but there's a time where she needs to talk business with Pistachio and Grandpa, and she's like, "Hey, why don't you go practice your ollies over there?" And she points at the street.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe she felt like he was a mistake, or who knows what. But
Yeah.
she was loving veneer, and then tells him to go like kickflip out in traffic.
Yeah.
So who knows really where she is there. You guys have anything to say on that, or you want me to throw it straight to the most offensive moment of the movie?
I want to see what you think is the most offensive moment of the movie.
Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the most offensive movie, but I have a nice tight reference to a movie we did not too long ago, and that is Hell Comes to Frogtown. Here's the reference, number 1. This is Dance of the One Snake.
Who are you now?
The question is not who I am, the question is who are you? I know who I am. I am Prince Lalejama from the Ringy-Dingy Heights near Bombay, Calcutta, and New Delhi, India.
It is time to test that.
What is it? Oh, that is a big reptile. Not a problem. Oh, yes. He wouldn't hurt anybody now. I'm going to call him Buttercup. Ooh, so cute.
What's most offensive about that is that they imply that the whole smooth jazz backing band sounded when he played the flute.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
Energico.
also the explicit racism is also up there.
Right, yeah, the explicit racism. So,
That's what I was thinking.
Inglourious Basterds, a movie I think we absolutely have to do for a good movie episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge
No.
Tarantino fan, and so is Bob.
Yeah.
But there is a moment where there is a German officer who catches that the dialect of this pretending to be German officer, British guy, has an accent he doesn't recognize. And it's because the British officer has a German accent that you only have if you learned German over the last 5 years and don't actually have a German accent.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what I'm talking. It's awesome. He's like, I'm from the Mount Pitzpaloo, and like talks about where he's from. This like tiny little, and that's why Tarantino's dialogue is so good. He'll come up again in this episode, by the way. But there is no particular Indian accent, I bet you. It's just the one that all of us can probably do. Go ahead, guys. Do your best Indian accent. Thank you. Come again. You could just do the...
Yeah.
Welcome to Quickie Mart. You can do
the Puna Hasapima Pedalon, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows how to do that. It doesn't make Dana Carvey very good. It just makes him offensive, like I just was. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Rob, why don't we throw it to your ad read?
Hey, do you have any really good ideas like this one?
You know I'm trying to get that chicken and check casher place off the ground.
Chicken and check casher, that don't go together.
Neither does chicken and waffles, but you see how that blew up.
Oh.
Well, Rob will tell us all about it in Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by what Lord of the Rings sounds like to people who don't like silly wizard shit. Swoggleflop hibbled through the Blornyquatch, sprinkled fizzled Zindelbop across the Narnic breeze. Gribbles and Snootwalks danced in a wibbly wobble flarn fizzle while the Chumblebums boggled atop the splinkler. Fleeble Gleebers hummed, wiggly waggle snoot as Borkelwinks zoomed by their spangled turglyfoos. With a glee and a ploop, the spizzer snurfed past a gleeble of zopplers, each twizzling their brabble horns with flippity-flop finesse. In the wibble-narp of that chuzzy skloof, Swizzbobblers gleeped and frumpled without a care, and so, in the gleaming flork that splarbled glee, the gibber-gobber twiddled and woggled to the fizzy friggled end. Next week is probably going to suck. Fuck you, Chris.
Getting so pissed off. I fucking hate you. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me, too, when I was like 14. And I was like, Grandma, I don't understand why you like Lord of the Rings so much. And she was like, well, I mean, if you want to open your mind to a whole nother universe that's really, really in-depth and well-written, because you have the mental capacity to understand all that, then why don't you take it in? And I said, you know what, sure. I'm only 14, but I'm willing to give it a go. Because I'm maturing. So fuck you guys.
You can just do drugs.
All right, let's start to test number 3, the worst dialogue. Oh, and thank you, what Lord of the Rings sounds like.
My father just died and left me something in his will.
Silly wizard shit.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought you said your father was already dead.
Well, he was just dead to me, but now he's dead to the rest of the world.
It was, typing it and reading it out loud were two different exercises
Can't get much
for my
worse than
brain.
that. Maybe it will in the worst dialogue.
I mean, I hate you for it, but you do deserve some credit. All right, how about number
5?
Pistachio.
Fabrizio decided to keep the family legacy a secret from his son. The boy never knew the truth about his urge to disguise himself with anything he could find.
Pistachio, I hope you're not making faces in the mirror with the underwear on the head.
That would be crazy, Papa. Unless, of course, I had a shaving cream beard to go along with it.
This is my grandson, Pistachio. He has always been a little different. From the very beginning, he had impulses he could not control.
You slap me, I slap you!
That's so fucking unfunny.
Me slap me, I slap you.
It's like... So he understood and spoke American English and already knew how to do the Who's Your Daddy slapfest.
Yeah.
But somehow forgot it. Thrown the continuity of this movie out the window. For a very sophomoric and unfunny joke, in my opinion.
Kids can't hold their own heads up because they don't have the neck strength until they're like 6 months old.
And we got doctors out there slapping their asses like... shaken baby syndrome in every hospital everywhere. Do they still do that? They don't do that anymore.
Well, the ass slap was
it
was to open their eyes because their eyes were like closed for so long. Like it's not dystrophy, but like it was like the jolt would make them like pop their eyelids open. Basically,
he didn't open his eyes. Clear.
Smack him in the fucking ass as hard as possible. I'm a professional. That's number 4.
4.
This is Butter Bottom.
Your pep talk is transforming, my tiny butter bottom. I mean, Jennifer.
You said tiny butter bottom.
Did I? The future mother of my babies? I mean, Jennifer.
You said future mother of my babies.
Did I? Fat cat mama with the red dress on? I mean...
You said...
I know. I don't know why I said that. It just was the emotion. It just... my first kiss. I must apologize. I was a little forward, but perhaps you enjoyed a little bit.
You know what time it is?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know what time it is.
Time to make a plan.
Ah, yes. Back to business. The planning time, she comes.
Okay.
You know, like they wanted Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" with like the mandolins and like the little trills, but they couldn't afford the rights for it probably because like, the melody was dun 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 dun. Like it was so close, but then it veers off.
I hadn't realized that, and I was trying not to break eye contact with the home viewer as I stared in disappointment. But you got me. Well, I mean, what needs to be said? I don't know. I never know whether or not I should explain why I think these things are so bad or not, and I don't feel like this movie really needs it. So
Speaks for
for the
itself.
sake of tight runtime, why don't we run over to number
3.
This is Mama's Cannoli.
Ransacked. Hello, please, in my home, it is full of ransackery. Everything different. What am I? And my name is Pistachio. And oh, Mama's cannoli is here.
Don't call again.
He also says ransackery again, as if you didn't hear it the first time, you would laugh so hard.
He says it 3 or 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It was literally never funny, but also why would he tell the police that his mother's cannoli? Is there unless he's fucking with the police, no one's that dumb, right? So I don't know.
My answer for these non sequiturs that make no sense, that aren't even funny, is there was a director's cut and there was more meaning behind the cannoli that didn't make it to the theatrical.
Maybe.
Which makes it funnier because they are this one's got to go, and then they still kept it in, kind of.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, Rob, but that's giving this movie too much credit.
Yeah.
Your bingo card.
Yeah.
Number
2.
Word. Moisture.
Oh. Well, you're a tall drink of water, and I just love moisture. What? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Gammy. Gammy Num Num.
Devlin Bowman.
Don't be ashamed of your feelings. Your desires are perfectly normal, I assure you.
What desires?
Well, guess what, Backstreet Boy? This is one Girl Scout that isn't content to be the Malcolm in your middle.
Run along, Gammy.
Run
along.
Touching me.
Gammy, run
Pushing
along.
me. There's pressure.
All right.
Pressure.
Go,
Moving
go,
me back.
go.
Touching.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm Barbara.
Nice to meet you. Bardsey.
We're never going to make babies.
All right, so Bob, I hope this doesn't ruin your worst production. And Rob, I hope you're still with us.
Yeah, I'm good.
Mike Myers, Eddie
I'm
Murphy, and or Robin Williams, any one of the three of these actors who do movies in this vein could not have saved, in my opinion.
No, it's
but what they
terrible.
but,
we lost Chris. He was saying something. I still can't hear you. Saying something about Robin Williams, Mike Myers, and Eddie Murphy, all talented titans of thespianism in their own right.
Yes.
Couldn't save this if they were in place of Dana Carvey.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yes.
Yeah, and Chris is just spazzing out on the screen right now. All right, Chris, can you hear us?
yes.
I hear you now too.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yay!
Hey. Okay. So you want to finish that thought? Because we kind of finished it for you, but I want to hear your take.
Yeah, but first, can you hear this?
No, noise gate, dude. All I heard was
sorry, I just was desperate to bring that back. But yeah, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Robin Williams all would have done a better job improvising than Dana Carvey, which is funny because Dana Carvey is the SNL guy. So is Mike Myers, so is Eddie Murphy, I get that. But any one of those three could have brought this movie to a higher level, but they would have never signed on in the first place because the idea behind this movie is just trash. Everything about it is bad. I hate everything about this movie. But what were you guys saying? What did I miss?
same thing. I was just saying, even if they elevated the premise, it would still be below the bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you support my thought there. Let's go to number
1.
You know what? Fuck it.
So this is like the Metachlorians to the Master of Disguise idea.
Yeah.
But number one for me is Energico.
It's time for you to learn about the invisible energy field that bonds all disguises past and present. It is called Energico. Energico. When you learn to tap into Energico, you will be able to access words, skills, ideas that you never dreamed were possible. You can think like another person. You will be able to act like another person, to feel like another person. You will become another person.
Come another person.
But first, you must repeat the mantra. Become another person.
Become another person. Nothing's happening.
Again.
Become another person.
Repeat.
Is that low hanging fruit, or is it like, no, just don't fucking include stupid shit like that in your movie, and I won't make fun of it?
Chris,
yeah,
80-minute runtime, and they were stretching it. I think they had to put it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I feel like them coming up with like the magic that makes this work.
Yeah.
Was totally unnecessary, and they shouldn't have done it, and it makes me really mad.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is Energico? How does it work? They don't try to bother to explain it. At least in Star Wars Episode 1, when they said the Metachlorians that they like totally kill because they realized it wasn't good for their brand. They tried to explain what was going on, but Energico, like, okay, so can anyone have it? Is it like the Force, or is it like something you're born with? Like, I have no idea what the fuck
Is it a
going
Peter
on there.
Gabriel song? I don't know.
All right, well, go ahead, Bob. We're gonna throw it over to you for test number 4. This is the worst production.
You're gonna need a montage. Even Rocky had a montage.
The worst production.
Montage.
Montage.
The worst production tagline is PGesus.
Yes.
So this is going to be a longer explanation. I apologize, but it's worth it. The Master of Disguise first began when Adam Sandler and Sony wanted to develop a movie with Dana Carvey. I guess because he'd been out of the limelight for a while and they wanted to bring him back. So the first draft of this movie was an R-rated parody of Mission Impossible. And in that version, Carvey would have played a comic espionage agent named Master Disguisey.
All right.
And they did a rewrite soon after where he got to rescue the Partridge family, which was forced to reunite the Partridge family to form a global TV network. The producer absolutely loved it and thought it was hilarious. However, the studio executive in charge hated it and wanted something PG because they wanted to tap into the massive youth market. Okay. And finally, they settled on what essentially is the fourth draft of the film, which, by the way, Dana Carvey made to entertain his two, at the time, preteen sons. Like that's how he wrote this movie. Is he wanted to entertain his two 9-10-year-old sons.
Okay.
Where he plays a sweet-natured Italian named Pistachio Disguisey, who discovers a family heritage of blah 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 blah. So the reason why so many people got slapped in the face in this film is because PG-rated movies can't have too much face punching. And get this, if people do get punched, their faces must be covered, which is why he inexplicably fights ninjas at the end of the film.
Huh. Okay.
And it just exactly. And it just so happens that most of the budget of this movie went to set design, celebrity cameos, and CGI.
Yeah, celebrity cameos.
Ultimately, the whole thing was just a forced PG project. That's why I call it a PGesus.
That's a forced PG project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly right. That was essentially my estimation. I assume, Rob, that you felt the same way.
Yeah.
Let's just find a way for Dana Carvey to like make people, like want to punch their own dicks, and then luckily dicks are capable of like jumping up into their bodies, so
Yes.
to avoid the abuse. All right, let's throw it to test number 5. This is the worst acting.
I'm a grown-ass man. I got bills to pay. I got another family across town. I got this nasty drug habit, and I'm in love with this bitch I can't stand.
We know all about the worst acting.
All right.
Number
1, Daddy.
This is Muscles.
You think you got muscles now? Try this.
Okay.
Why does he have underwear on his head?
They had to work in the Hans and Franz bit, of course, right? That's from SNL.
Yeah.
They'll pump you up.
Yeah,
Little
Yeah.
girly man. Yeah.
100%. But kids suck, and I hate kids. So, how about number?
Yeah, me too.
This is what?
So, listen to me true, Pistachio. You are now a level 1.5 apprentice.
But master, without your guidance, how will I know what to disguise myself as?
You will have to listen to your disguising instincts. Answer these questions for yourself. Who, why, where, how? Would they take your mother, the cuteness, and your father, my son?
Yes. Who, why, where, and why?
No, wrong. Who, why, where, and how?
Oh, yes. Who, why, what, and what, and what, and what, and what?
Wrong. Who, why, where, how?
Yes. Who, why, where, how?
That's it. You got it.
Yes, who, why, where, how? I say who, why, where, how? I say who, why, where, how? I say who, why, where.
All right, you were saying?
Yeah, I hate this movie so much. I think you might have thrown an abuser on the air. I don't know. What more do you say about that? The dialogue and the acting is just so fucking bad there. It's like they don't give a fuck about what they're saying or how they're saying it, and makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Number 3. Okay. This was the moment where I really debated whether or not I wanted to just pretend like I saw the rest of the movie and just shut them. This is Strudel.
Sorry, Strudel, you said.
The other one. Yeah.
Hello, my name's Constable Mueller from the Bavarian Tax Authority. Hello. And I'm here looking for Miss Jennifer Baker. She owes a substantial amount of back taxes from her time as an exchange student at the University of Heidelstrudel. I just need to ask her a couple of questions, really quick questions. I'm not going to bite her. Could I just speak with her for just one moment? I'm not going to bite.
Hey, freak.
Yes?
Don't move.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He responded
severely-
to "Hey freak."
Yeah, Drew, he did. Severely unfunny and severely inaccurate. I thought that was the maybe worst accent in the movie.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
It sounded nothing like a Austrian, German,
Or like a Bavarian or whatever the hell.
he was going for. He just going like he was Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
And that make you a Bavarian financial officer or whatever the fuck he was pretending to be, and it really pissed me off, and I hated every second of it, like I hated every second of this movie. Let's throw it to Bob again for fact or no fact.
Fact.
Or no.
Fact.
Absolutely, positively, no
fact.
Now these chicken breasts or is your breast?
So the movie was called Master of Disguise, and all I could think of to rename as a game is Disguised as a Comedy.
Yeah, that's on the nose. That's fair.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's what it is. So the game is it's a fun time. It's you guys figuring out what I'm lying about. When I'm gonna tell you 5 things, and one of those 5 things is a lie. So see if you can figure it out. Here we go. First thing. This was filmed soon after 9/11, and a moment of silence was held, and Dana Carvey was in the turtle outfit when that happened.
All right.
Second thing. An entire 12-minute sequence. Well, or Dana Carvey's character assumes the disguise of a person with dwarfism was cut.
All right.
Okay, third thing. Dana Carvey wasn't allowed to do his famous George H.W. Bush impersonation as it was owned by SNL, so he did a GW impression instead. Okay, fourth thing. Producers had to pay Madonna $17,000 just for Dana Carvey to say the words, "Papa don't preach."
How many dollars?
17,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the guy that played Rex in the film was arrested and charged for participation in the January 6th, 2021 Capitol riot.
That's okay. Long before we decided about this movie, I was aware of the meme of Dana Carvey possibly wearing the turtle outfit during 9/11, but I also know the jury's out on it because there's it was like written on IMDb or something, and there are conflicting reports whether the film was still in pre-production or somebody just like made it up because it's kind of funny. So I'm gonna circle back to that because I'm not sure. It can go either way. I do believe there was a 12-minute sequence with the whole dwarfism thing that was cut because movies, even short ones, they typically have to hit 90 minutes, and this didn't hit 90 minutes. And
Short
12
ones.
and 12 minutes would have made it over 90. I think 90 is like the perfect length for a short movie in quotes, especially these days where everything's like 2+ hours long. So I think like 90 is like, yeah.
I'm just playing around with your short ones.
Oh, short, because the midgets, sorry, the dwarves. The dwarves.
I can't stop thinking about Gary Oldman.
On his knees. You can find our Tiptoes episode at www.theworstmovieevermade.com, a movie in which Matthew McConaughey drunkenly and earnestly yells at the top of his lungs, "I'm a dwarf!" I didn't even register which George Bush he was doing because like they both sound kind of similar. But so you're saying like on SNL he did senior, but like in the movie he did junior to like get around the SNL rights? Is that what you're saying, Bob?
Yeah,
I can see that. With the little bit I know about music publishing and rights, you need 8 consecutive bars, I think, with the chord progression and the melody, and they didn't do a full 8 seconds. So I think they got under or out of paying Madonna because it wasn't like a long enough iteration of her property. So that might be bullshit. And then with this graduating class of SNL alum and like the people they associated with, they're oddly conservative, believe it or not. Like, I feel like I always get the Quaids messed up. Randy Quaid, he's like, yeah, with the whole Star Whackers thing, which like may or may not be true. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but like there's a weird conspiratorial like side to certain comedians from a certain era of SNL. So that's believable. I am going to say it's between 9/11 and Madonna. And I don't have enough information in my head to verify or deny the 9/11 thing. And I
Sounds
want
like you just summed up America.
Yeah. I want so badly for the 9/11 thing to be true. So I'm going to say the Madonna thing is the lie because I don't think they used enough of her song to have to pay a royalty.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go with number 3. I do think that he is famous for the senior Bush impression, but I don't think that I think he went topical, and because George Jr. was the president at the time, that's what he went with.
And they got the
Thinking
Sandler
he
money.
can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking he can do any impression.
Yeah.
So, number 3.
Right. He's so talented. So
He's no Jamie Kennedy, but he's up there.
Well, they couldn't get him for this one. So.
They couldn't get
They
Kennedy.
couldn't get Jamie Kennedy. They tried so hard. So Rob, you are
get
right.
Kennedy,
There was lore around the fact that this was filmed during 9/11, but it wasn't. But
I should have.
But then no, they did do a moment of silence, and he was in a turtle costume, but it was a few weeks after the
Nice.
attacks.
Nice.
So technically, that's a fact.
Okay. Damn.
Okay. And there was an entire 12-minute sequence where he assumed the disguise of a person with dwarfism and crawled under a wedding party.
All right.
I believe it.
Yeah, me too.
And that had to be cut. Dana Carvey did his HW, no, I'm sorry, his GW because it was topical. Chris is right.
Right.
I made that up.
Damn.
Chris wins again, which
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing Chris happy, but I hate seeing Chris happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking win again. Hell yeah.
They did pay Madonna $17,000 just for him to say Papa Don't Preach.
Wow.
And Jay Johnston, who played Rex in the film, which was the guy that like bullied Pistachio back when he was like, you know, a waiter or wherever he was, he was arrested and charged for participating in the January 6th, 2021 Capitol riot.
Okay. Damn.
Which, like, never happened in the first place, so I don't know why they would even arrest him.
It was a non-violent something.
I think someone pooped on a desk at some point, but that was the extent of it, right?
Well, yeah. Maybe a little poopy on a desk.
I think they beat a police officer with a flag, but you know, that wasn't
Well,
Ah.
Stop. I don't think that even happened. You're Jesse Ventura in my mind.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to the catch-all.
Oh, I'm gonna miss. That's the bumper I'm gonna miss from this season. the church movie screening.
Yeah, I have to farm
I
clips.
do
Okay.
really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Next week, good movie week. We'll see what wins.
Yeah. That's the eyebrows for the audio
I'll go with
listeners.
my number. Oh, well, thanks, Rob. Yeah, for the audio listeners, I was doing eyebrows. I actually haven't looked at it since yesterday, but the guys are leaning towards Lord of the Rings, so I'm hoping.
Yeah.
My number 5 is why does he have such a thick accent? His mama isn't Italian, and he grew up in America, going to American school.
You want the answer?
Yeah, I do.
Because this movie is a vehicle for bits, and funny accents equals funny. Chris.
Oh. I just thought it was weird that last week Dave from Outer Space had a more American accent than Pistachio, who grew up in America. It might have been in class when Dave taught him. And somehow he still has a really thick Italian accent.
I like that you called him Dave from Outer Space. I love that. Okay, so I might be going out of sequence here, but what the fuck with biting the guy's nose off and spitting it back on?
Oh God! I mean, that's our opener.
And apparently that was Sandler's idea.
No.
It doesn't make sense because he was shocked by like the absurdity of it, but like you would have felt your nose being ripped off, and there would have been a hole there. Like so, they're saying that as a disguise, the material that you touch with your disguisey hand can also alter the appearance of the person who's antagonizing you because of the what's it called, the Energico.
Energico. There's enough Energico on the beak to make it hot enough to cauterize the wound, but cool enough that it can refuse as soon as he spits it back onto his face.
Fucking stupid. All right.
I wasn't aware that was our opener. I'm sorry.
Oh, it is. It is. Well, it's not. It is. It is.
I don't know. We only play the audio reel when we're doing this on the air, and we pretend to watch it.
Yeah, so we don't.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, you want it, people. That's how the sausage gets made.
www.theworstmovieevermade.com if you want to see the sausage in its 1080p form on YouTube. Yes.
Take that sausage and smash that subscribe button with it. Watch our YouTubes, because then you can see it. Number 4 is the Tony. I thought the Tony Montana was actually pretty good. But I mean, that's one of those ones that I feel like almost anybody can do again.
Say hello to my riddle friend. Yeah, I did it like with Japanese R's and L's, but for some weird reason, I don't know why.
I won't do it, but like if you
say hello to my little friend.
It's true. I don't know why he does that, but
I've had a long day.
If you go back into our archives, you can hear me do more voice work than I do now. Like I would read things and just pretend to be the actor. But I don't do that so much anymore. But if you want me to do a Tony Montana one day, you let me know. You comment on this video and you say, Chris, do a Montana accent. And I'll do it. And I bet you I'll do it just as good as knockoff David Spade did it in this movie. And I will say, The Quint, because I'm a huge Jaws fan. I think Jaws is my favorite movie ever made. The Quint was not good. He did not do a very good job at Quint. And I'm not saying I can do a better Quint. Yeah. I'm not saying
you're not getting paid. Quint. You're not getting paid millions of dollars to say you can, though. Yeah.
I'm just saying that he was like. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was way too long. Also, like that Quint.
It was. It was weird.
Yeah.
A good 15 seconds would have been more funny than it was. But, okay, well that's
once you get once you get the idea of what he's doing, that's enough.
Yeah.
You don't need the lengthy impression.
The first two Scary movies did it well, where like they made the reference and they fucking barreled through it and they moved on to another bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Spanish ladies.
All right. So I'm going with my biting off the guy's nose right to my cherry spitting power. Like when he was disguised as the cherry pie. When he was disguised as the cherry pie, apparently he had this ability to shoot cherries like a machine gun out of his mouth. Like what the fuck?
So like, it's Energico. Apparently. Future.
Yeah, apparently. Future. That's it.
Huge vents. The building had huge vents, you know?
Yeah.
Big pipes. That building.
Yeah.
Probably helped with that.
Yes. Pipe logic.
No, but 100%. Not only does he like take out guys by going and like shooting out a bunch of cherries, but there's a sniper like headshot. The cherry hits the guy in the forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like me this week. All right, let's go with number 3 for me is Bruce Willis catching some strays. Didn't appreciate this.
Oh, his hairpiece for Die Hard or whatever when they were doing the montage.
Die Hard 2 hairpiece? What's this about? Especially now, because Bruce Willis is like, the golden goose. He's America's like guy, and now he's going through some very difficult medical situation that I don't want to profess to know anything about, but I don't think he ever deserved to have the wig joke, especially because he wasn't fucking wearing one.
Nah, if you're gonna rip on anything, do his fucking blues album, where he's like ripping on the harmonica like a fucking badass.
Yeah, rip that. Don't rip his wig that he wasn't even wearing.
Yeah.
Fuck that. All right, go ahead, Bob. What's your number 3?
I was imagining the ninjas. So when they were in that one scene where the ninjas came off the ceiling, like he just like kind of snapped his fingers and said like, "Come down." Like I can just imagine all those ninjas on the ceiling just waiting all day, all night to be called for this one task. Just
Yeah.
like sitting there, you know, scratching themselves, like holding in their pee, like whatever
Yeah.
they had to do. And then suddenly they're
their
like,
big
oh,
moment.
it's our big moment. Yeah, when we come down. I thought that was just that made me laugh just thinking of what that would have looked like if that was actually real.
That's like
That
in Street Fighter when Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, he's like laying in the morgue drawer. So like you seriously just like you waited there for like
Yeah,
3
right.
days for that lady to show up and you could be like, oh hey.
And it's like
Yeah.
36 degrees in there. But Bob, I crafted a quick dad joke for you on that one.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready? So when the ninjas are up in the rafters and they get an itch, decide to scratch it with a weapon while waiting for so long. What do they call that?
Well, I don't know. You got me.
I don't know.
A sigh of relief.
Well.
All right, what's your next one, Chris?
Number 2. The opener was a snippet of the turtle scene. Can we talk more about it, even if we have already?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I knew we would have already opened the dialogue about the fucking turtle scene. One, because I opened the entire movie episode with the turtle scene, and Bob just mentioned the turtle scene and the nose thing, but there was like this weird like Austin Powers transition as well, where he just lays down for a half a second and does
this
like does a spin on his back, and he's like, and it is unlike anything else in the movie, and I just don't. I felt like the whole entire turtle scene was so far afield for a comedy movie like this that I thought that we would have to have a very long dialogue on it. Yeah. That's where I draw the line. And the rest of the movie, shitty, awful, not funny at all. But the turtle scene actually brings it into Fateful Findings, like into the arena. You knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You knew this was gonna happen. You saw that?
Yeah, the Seinfeld.
I don't have a sign. Every week it gets shittier. I'm so sorry. I think this isn't the first time that
To
happened.
both your points, since I'm kind of just like moderating the catch-all, the problem this movie has, I've been thinking about, like, what I couldn't put my finger on, like, what's wrong with this movie. There's no one playing the role of the straight man. They're all silly.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not a single
you're
person who's just straight face and deadpan the whole time where they could play off of their frustration. They're all equally absurd, and it doesn't work because there's no. If everything's a joke, then nothing's a joke, and then therefore nothing's funny.
Even the villain is a silly villain.
Yeah, he farts every time he laughs, and then
he farts. Yes, and he's just silly in general. Like he's just a silly guy. The girl you could argue as the straight man, but she's also
you're right.
But she's also the romantic interest, so you can't do both.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she buys in.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's that thing that the rooster, the weather vane. She should be the weather vane, right? But but then she like is seduced by him calling her Mrs. Butterbottom or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, forget it. All right, so is it my number 1 then?
Yeah, I think so.
I know. I think it's my 2.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2, 1. Yeah.
I was just gonna say the credits, the videos and the credits were better than the movie.
The opening sequence with the flip book thing.
Yeah.
No. That was good actually.
Yeah.
The opening credits and the closing and the ending credits. Opening and ending credits were better than the movie.
Yeah. Fair.
Which is saying
agree.
something.
Yeah.
That means they had the manatee like grabbing the ball and bringing it to the other side of the tank.
The idea ball.
Because, yeah. My number one, Daddy, is this movie is obviously and we've already said this, so but I'm just going with it because I have nothing to replace it. This movie is obviously Carvey clout manifesting in SNL skit stretched into the bottom limit for a movie.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just Carvey doing SNL skits. And they were like, how do we make a, sort of plot that's totally inoffensive and make it 80 minutes?
It's a vehicle for bits.
What does it have to be? Yeah. And
it's a vehicle
none
for
of them
bits
are
that aren't
fucking
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like it's literally the worst movie ever made because it's not a fucking movie and they don't accomplish the whole vehicle in the first place. I'd rather watch Fateful Findings. For real.
Me too.
If gun to my head, I'd rather watch Fateful Findings because I will never laugh at anything in this movie. I will laugh at Fateful Findings. Even if that's not what he meant to do. What? Yeah.
Why did you commit suicide, Chris? Chris. Oh, you committed suicide. Why did you commit suicide? I can't help you out of this one, Chris.
Why did you commit suicide disguise? Why did you commit suicide disguise?
I can't believe you committed suicide.
Suicide disguise.
All right. My last one is as a goof. At the party when he is disguised as Tony Montana.
Yeah.
The items on the waiter's plate as he offers them to Pistachio, disguised as Mr. Peru, they constantly change. Like every time they cut to the waiter, the appetizers change from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another, and that's a goof. And I thought that was. I noticed it right away, actually, because I was hungry when I was watching this. And I noticed the snacks kept changing.
Do you think it was intentional? Like,
when you're hungry.
Yeah. Do you think it was intentional, like the mound of nacho cheese and Napoleon Dynamite when Kip's on the phone? Where, like, they just wanted it to be super inconsistent for, like, the joke? Or do you think it was just bad planning?
I think it was just bad.
Specifically?
Well, I mean, I was saying in Napoleon Dynamite, it was like, the joke was it's so low production that like they just roll with it and made it a joke. Whereas in this one, like it's probably just it took 9 days to shoot the one scene and they just didn't have the same craft service.
But this is Happy Madison,
and they were like, Dana, Dana Carvey, it's been 4 days and you haven't been funny yet. Please
keep it rolling.
Say something fucking funny, for God's sake. You know what bolsters the point on that, though, is that they have the outtakes at the end, and Dana Carvey makes everyone laugh once.
Yeah.
One time in the blooper reels. If you have an Eddie Murphy or a Chris Farley production or something, in the blooper reels, everybody laughs like 15 times. They have that,
the bloopers are funnier than what made it into the film.
Yeah, exactly. We can't even show all of them because we don't have enough tape. Like, it's going to go well beyond feature-length film.
Because
Dave Carvey made everyone laugh improv one time, and it was an accident.
It's because, like, and the other movies that are done better in this vein is like there's electricity on the set, like there's energy of like there's a bunch of funny people, and that's why they do the blooper reels because they are such naturally funny and charismatic people. Like they want to include like the making of the film as a send off for like what you just watched. Whereas in this one,
and Dana Carvey is in this one, he's doing the 60-year-old woman with dyed hair joke, where the moisture thing that we played before, and she's like, "We're not gonna like have babies with you or something." And the other actress who, I don't know her name, sorry, but she doesn't go on to succeed after this movie. Go figure. She just like busts out laughing because she thought the line was funny, which was written.
Yeah.
For Dana Carvey. They don't show a single time where he improv. He slips out of a cherry pie and falls down and everybody laughs, which he didn't mean to do.
Yeah.
And he reads a line from the script and the other actress can't handle it and laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of its absurdity and literally nothing else. They want to act like he's really funny in the blooper reels.
Yeah.
He didn't make anybody laugh organically because he's not fucking funny I hate him. I never thought he was funny. He fucking sucks. Garth sucks. Dana Carvey sucks. SNL sucks. Fuck both of you. Lord of the Rings next week, baby. Let's go. What we're
I hope
watching.
not.
Shoot to what we're watching. How we doing?
I just asked the guys, like, what are we watching? What are you watching? And instead I get,
Oh, you think
All
you
right.
got jokes? You know what you're gonna get? You're gonna get this gas money. Take that with you. Take that gas money with you. That's what you're gonna get. Who got?
I got a little.
Right, sorry, go ahead.
Let's make the villain complicated. He will fart when he laughs. For me, what I'm watching, I told you that Quentin Tarantino would come back. I'm watching Jackie Brown. It's just fucking awesome. It's awesome. It's a good movie.
It is.
Tarantino has so many good movies. I know they're a little immature. That he's not the like super genius that everybody says he is. I understand that, but like he's kind of a genius though. His dialogue's always fucking great. Like the best parts in Tarantino movies are not the action scenes; it's the dialogue from character to character. And Kevin Smith does the same thing. Only Kevin Smith isn't as cool. He's just his dialogue's just not as good. Sorry, it's good. It's obviously Kevin Smith. Quentin Tarantino finds a way to assume the role of the person that he's writing for better than Kevin Smith does. And Jackie Brown is really fucking funny and interesting and a period piece for like the 90s, but that like brings into reference like blaxploitation and Quentin Tarantino just has a great grip on that. Unfortunately, he might be a little racist. He loves feet. He's a fucking piece of shit, probably.
And the N-word.
You know? But he's a good director. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I was watching Jackie Brown and I was like, God damn it, this shit is awesome. Number two, I'm sorry. I just have to say it. I don't know, Rob, if you're caught up, but
I am.
The second season finale was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I immediately, I don't do this anymore. I haven't done this since I was 18, but I immediately Googled, is there going to be a season 2?
This was the first series
is there going to be a season 2?
Once I caught up on the first 5 episodes, it was like, I haven't done appointment viewing for anything in like 15 years, aside from South Park. And I was Sunday night, I'm like, oh shit, there's a new Penguin. And I ran over to my projector and threw it on.
It's fucking amazing. I don't know. But they have not confirmed a season 2. So that might be all we get. I don't know. And since that's a lame way to end it, I'm wondering, are you guys interested at all? And Rob and Bob, I'm going to say both of you are not interested in Gladiator 2.
I'll peep on it. I'll check it out. I liked Gladiator. I'm not. When it comes to like the fantasy and mythology and just like the ancient whatever, I don't know. I feel like I just need to suspend too much disbelief, and I'm saying that as a sci-fi fan. It's just because sci-fi is in the distant future where things may have evolved a certain way. Where this is like, you're taking real historical things and making composite characters out of them. I enjoy it. It's inherent entertainment value, but like for some reason I can't get fully immersed.
Well, before
I'm going to jump on.
Go ahead, Bob.
I'm going to jump on the Rob train and say that's exactly why I've never actually watched Gladiator.
It kicks ass. It kicks ass.
It's great. It's
awesome. Good. That's the one exception to the rule is I really like Gladiator. I hated 300, but Gladiator was it's worth checking out. Bob.
300 is a movie for people for 18-year-old males.
All right. Yeah.
And like no one else.
Okay.
And when I was 18 and I watched it, I was like, 300's the dopest shit I've ever seen. And then I grew up a little bit, and I was like, wow, it's actually kind of lame. But also, my cousin Shane was like, 300 was all filmed in a studio, and you can see like where the walls are and where the CGI takes over. And I was like, well, I don't want to know that. But now
their
that I know
abs are
that,
fake, dude. Their abs are like freaking made in Blender.
But yeah, just to say, I know you guys aren't going to watch Gladiator 2. Well, Rob, it sounds like you might.
I'll catch it when it comes to streaming, but I'm not going to make a
something
day of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I'm like totally interested in. So I'll
Yeah.
get back to you if I go and see it.
Yeah.
I will tell you in some other what we're watching that I watched it. Go ahead, Bob.
I'd be surprised if I was ever into a sequel, especially that many years after. Then again, I heard the Beetlejuice was actually really good, so I'm gonna make sure I watch that. I'm gonna make sure I see it. I'll see it eventually. So I went back to my indie film roots for this one. 1997, a movie came out called Gummo.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've heard of this.
I have not.
I'm not exactly sure what I watched. So
Okay.
there was a movie that came out in 95 called Kids. I don't know if you have heard of this one before.
I can't say I have.
So the director of Gummo actually wrote the screenplay for Kids, and Kids was like a 90s view of like suburban white kids who acted like non-white kids, just getting into all sort of debauchery, like just very youthful sex and violence and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This had a very similar feel. It was like white kids and white young adults in suburban USA in all sorts of debauchery and disgusting behavior. It wasn't a good movie, but it's an experience.
Okay.
And this experience can't be duplicated outside of this medium. Like, unless you live in this world, you would never experience this kind of feel. So that's where I'm going to say it was a worthwhile experiment, and I'm glad I did it.
Okay.
It stars Chloe Sevigny. I don't know if you know Chloe Sevigny.
No.
No,
I can't put a face to the name. Chloe.
Yeah, it's Sevigny.
Oh, I know the face.
Yeah,
Okay.
and nobody else is recognizable in this movie, but she was a young, like, up and comer when it came to this movie.
She was in Zodiac.
Yes.
Oh.
She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But she was also she's a fiercely independent actress. She's in all sorts of indie shit. And this was one of them. Gummo, 1997.
Gummo.
Don't recommend. But if you're into indie shit and just want to be weirded out for an hour and a half, then watch it.
No,
All right.
But thanks.
Is it on Tubi? It's on Tubi.
No.
Is it on Tubi? Oh,
It's
okay.
not.
Damn. All right. Okay. So I also watched the Penguin finale. I am 2 episodes out from finishing Chicken Nugget, which you need to watch because it's fucking hilarious. And it keeps getting weirder. It's a weird show to begin with, but like they keep anteing up, and I don't know where it's gonna go. And I almost don't want to finish it because I think it's just a miniseries, and I don't want it to end. So I'll probably finish it this week and then be disappointed. And then Chris, you normally do the Jersey Shore and like the Rock of Love, and so I've been on a really bad rabbit hole of AJ and Big Justice and the Rizzler. They are TikTokers. You know
we've all been there, especially as a middle school teacher. I've been there.
So it's the father and son, like, we're Costco guys. Of course we get a chicken bake while we're shopping.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I see.
And then like they review food as like a boom or a doom, and the dad always flexes and goes boom.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
and I just want to tell you,
did it first, I guess.
So I am not a big Jimmy Fallon fan. In fact, I despise him. But they made it onto Jimmy Fallon, and to Fallon's credit, he looks so fucking unamused, and and you can see behind, there's nothing behind his eyes, as if to say, what has this show come to? And it's fucking it's the long con. Like the content itself is terrible, but like the payoff when it's unleashed into the world is so fucking worthwhile that you need to get into it.
It really is.
We got to get James Cameron back to raise the bar.
Yeah, to raise the bar. James Cameron.
Oh, we have stooped too low again. All right, should we throw it to bad credit names then?
Yes.
Stephen Hack, Allegra Craig, Larry Shorts, Cookie Lopez, Peggy A. Names, and the return of Nansky Tong Heater.
I don't know. Should Peggy A. Names have won?
Nah, I
I
think
played it for Erin, and she was like, "I heard that, but like I figured because it was bad credit names, her name couldn't be Peggy Names." I was like, "No,
Yeah.
it literally was Peggy A. Names."
I like that though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nansky Tong Heater was back.
Yeah, Tong Heater.
Well, until I feel like we've heard that name too many times.
Yeah. Returning champ
it's
for
gonna
sure.
Win. Yeah, definitely. Ass Cheek Arena champ Nansky Tong Heater. All right, let's start to the offensive minigame.
Sure.
My dude, mind your business, because I'll fight a woman if that's what your big ass really is.
Oh, that's the kind of thing that fits in the offensive minigame.
All right.
Regag Rescue.
Okay.
Or Olson Oopsies.
Olson Oopsies.
Yes, Olson.
Because that was a joke that was way too accepted around this time.
Agreed.
For child
What the
actors,
fuck?
especially when, like, now that we know what the people involved with were doing then, it kind of adds an extra layer of stank.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Invisiglizzies. Or Side Street skate park.
Glizzies.
Yeah. Because like
Invisiglizzies?
Yeah, because you can interpret the skate park thing two different ways. You could it's just I want my kid to be independent. He's playing. I trust my, preteen kid to like go out and have some fun and not get hurt. But you could also construe it as child neglect, a la the Rugrats.
You could.
Where
you
like,
could.
all right, just run loose in this candy factory. Nothing will happen. But I think the lack of food is more offensive. So
Okay,
Invisiglizzies.
fair
Yeah.
Insensitive Indian accent.
Mm-hmm.
Or extramarital mushroom hole.
The extramarital mushroom hole is still
That's worse.
Having an affair while your wife is committing suicide is pretty awful.
I can't believe she committed suicide.
I cannot believe she committed suicide.
He can't help
Why
her out
would
of
she
this
commit
one.
suicide?
Why would you commit suicide?
Why would everyone around me commit suicide?
Quick foreshadowing on the upcoming what we're watching. I have all of Neil Breen's movies on my hard drive. I'll be throwing them on the Google Drive for you guys when there's space. I'm starting Double Down this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Double Down.
Oh yes. Double Down.
All right, let's throw it to the movie comparison.
Sure.
They call it vagina, but it's Vagina. V''G''I''N''A. It's Vagina. You can't even spell vagina. That's what you're trying to spell vagina.
All right.
Hey Rob, you had a
Yeah.
4.5 for Faithful Findings. Kudos to you because I'm this week with a 4.25, so you win.
Yeah.
All right, you happy with that?
I mean,
offensive. We know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't put that much value in winning as you do. It's okay. It's cool.
That's why I'm the winner. Offensive minigame. Faithful Findings wins again. Dialogue.
Okay.
What's worse, Faithful Findings or The Master of Disguise?
It's actually tough.
Faithful Findings for me.
Yeah.
For me.
For dialogue?
Yeah.
Why did you commit suicide?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been ripping on that the whole hour. So yeah, I guess Faithful Findings does win.
Production continuity errors galore for Faithful Findings or P-Jesus.
P-Jesus.
I'm
gonna go P-Jesus.
Yeah?
Because their intent was to cast a wider net for more mass appeal, and they completely screwed the pooch.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Whereas, like, Faithful Findings, it's a passion project, and the guy, like, he's kind of aware that he's not great at what he does, but he believes in it. So, like, I can give him credit for that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Acting, what's worse? Fateful Findings.
Fateful
or
Findings,
Master
yeah.
of Disguise.
I can't believe you killed yourself. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
Why would you commit suicide? I'm having a hard time
No.
understanding why you do that.
No,
Which is
I'm
suicide.
not seeing another therapist. There is no other therapist.
There is no other therapist. Let me put the spinach on top of these papers. What's the demerit for the Master of Disguise?
Turtle.
Dana Carvey.
Carvey turtle?
Carvey turtle. I like it.
Carvey turtle. Yeah.
And then, is that worse than Bring Me Bits, No Tits? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No. I think...
All right, so
Seeing
clearly
Neil-
the worst of the...
No, I was just saying, seeing Neil Breen's ass is the worst thing of the season.
Yeah.
I agree. So, very clearly the worst of the season.
Yeah.
My opinion. Fateful Findings.
Yeah.
Next, I haven't looked. I swear to God, I haven't looked. I'm going to look now to see what won our good movie episode
So it's
poll.
Donnie Darko versus Memento versus Lord of the Rings.
I'm going to go on
That's
record
correct.
and say that Chris said in text stream that he wishes mine would win.
And guess what?
Oh my
Bob? You're not going
God.
to believe this.
It did.
So, Memento? Yep.
So we're watching Memento. Fuck you guys! I thought we were finally fucking watching Fellowship of the Rings, and I am pissed off. So Memento wins. 53% of the vote. Fuck you guys. All right, I love that movie though. But I knew if we watched Fellowship of the Rings,
Yeah.
Fellowship of the Ring. I don't know why I keep putting an S on that.
Yeah.
That you guys would just mercilessly make fun of me for it.
That's missed opportunity. Fuck. Yeah, that's a good point.
So what kind of episode would that be? You know, just to throw that in for next season. If you guys really want to make fun of me for really liking a movie, you could do it by throwing your votes my way when I re-vote for Fellowship of the
Chris,
Ring,
you twisted
which
my
is
arm.
at
Next
100
season,
on fucking
next
Rotten
season,
Tomatoes.
I will throw Lord of the Rings on the poll. Maybe.
Look at me go. Another.
You manipulative
All right,
asshole.
Rob. Rob, why don't you plug us and throw it to Bob for his last word?
Yeah. You can find us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. It takes you to a Linktree page. It's got our YouTube. It's got our Spotify. It's got, all the streamers. Or you can just go to whatever streamer you use and just search The Worst Movie Ever Made. And we'll probably be there. And you hit play and you listen to it. This is episode, 175 or something like that?
On season 47, I think.
Yeah. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we post polls like the ones we talked about, but we won't be doing a poll next season because Schmave sent us an email and we're gonna watch Baby Boom. So thank you, Schmave. So yeah, you just search The Worst Movie Ever Made, and if you go to theworstmovieevermade.com, there's a little envelope you can click on, and it takes you to a little Outlook Express or Gmail or whatever the fuck you're using, and you could email us and request a movie, and we will watch it, and we will make fun of it, and you could cherish it, and we'll shout you out, and it'll be a good time. Bob, what's your last word?
I can't get it out of my head. Disguisey.
All right. And just because this is the end of the bad movie run before we do Memento next week, I am not going to roll out with the usual theme song. I went into the archive. So see you guys next week, and I can't believe you committed suicide.
He killed himself! He killed himself!
Call 911.
Call 911.
Jim! Jim! Call 911. Jim!
The blood, he just goes like, with the blood on his hand.
How could you have done this? Jim!
Jim!
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide? I can't help you out of this one, Jim.
Can't help you out of this one.
With all we've been through, I can't pull you out of this one.
All right. See you guys next week. Bye, Jelly Scoop.
Thanks, Schmave.
Thanks, Schmave. Oh, that was good. That was. Can't believe you committed suicide.